What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up. I'm your host, MsMillie, and today we'll be interviewing a very special guest. We have Miss Alexis, Director of Operations from Tilt. And before we dive in to who you are and getting to know a little bit more about you, I do have an icebreaker game of sorts.
Okay.
If you'd like to play.
Let's do it.
Okay, great. So this game is called Burning Questions.
Okay.
So I just picked up a few cards. These are all picked at random.
Okay.
So you can choose one of these questions. These are burning get to know you questions.
Okay.
And I'd like you to choose 1 to 3, if you will.
I'll pick 2 of them for you.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So the first question is, what was the last food you binged on? Okay, so this is really going to set the tone right now. So there's a farmer's market that opened up near my house, and I don't normally do farmer's market, so I was like, we're going to try this. And I got this like jalapeno green olive feta. When I tell you it
yummy.
was fire, so I was putting this jalapeno feta cheese on everything, egg sandwiches, hummus, so good. And then I have gone for the last 3 weeks to get it. It's still in my fridge. Addicted, literally. Yeah,
I love that for you.
So that's my most recent food binge. The second question was, what's your biggest pet peeve? This is like really deep. But I really don't like inauthentic people. So like for when you can feel that people are like playing, so however that comes out in life, different capacities, I think my biggest pet peeve is like unauthenticity. So when you can feel like the trying to be or trying to do, it gives me the ick. Not a fan.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
0 out of 10, do not recommend.
Yeah, do not recommend.
Okay, so let's get into it. Tell us a little bit more about Alexis. Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do? How'd you get there?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I grew up in Thousand Oaks, California, so a little bit way out the way. Initially went to the Fashion Institute in downtown LA for merchandise marketing. I was a buyer for a company called Kitson for about 3 years. They went out of business and decided I was going to restart my career in business operations. So I was a director of operations and a district manager different times for a spa consolidation franchise. So I helped open and close spas, consolidate, buy new ones. I did that for about 8 years. And then my fiance, Trey Holmes, who was our owner, one of the founders for Tilt Los Angeles.
Shout out to Trey.
Shout out to Trey and the Tilt team. Decided that when the pandemic hit, he wanted to open a sneaker store. He's always been a dreamer. And then I decided to kind of commit my skill set in operations to help scale the business. So left my corporate job in 2022. So I've been doing this full-time director of operations with Tilt since then.
What a team you two are, by the way. I've seen you guys, we haven't known each other that long, but what I've seen of you two is that you guys are a great team.
Thank you.
That you guys exude leadership in the community, and you guys are doing great things as a business, as a couple, as everything you guys got going on. I respect that.
Thank you so much.
So did you always see yourself working in this industry? No. I mean, I know you went to school for fashion. You spoke a little bit about your history, but where does your love for sneakers, sneaker culture, where did that start?
Yeah. So I'm sure you're going to have, all sorts of perspectives for how people really love and get into sneakers. Mine really came from the business and operations part of it. A part of my day-to-day job is really managing the inventory and monitoring what we have in store, and that is really how I fell in love with the sneakers. Understanding that shoes that look really cool don't mean they have value, and shoes that look kind of crazy have some crazy obscene value. And so kind of more from the financial side of it is where my interest grew. I've always loved fashion, different aspects and avenues of fashion, but sneakers, it really came more so once I was in the business full time and understanding, like, number one, how lucrative financially it can be, but also number two, like really trying to understand like the stock part of it and like how sneakers grow in value.
I can see that. So speaking of sneakers, what are you rocking today before we dive into the kick time? What you got on today?
Yeah, well, first I have to say shout out to my buying team at Tilt. My team knows what I like, so they'll give me a call. Yaya, Christian, Dean, Adrian, shout out to my squad. One of them called me, Yaya called me, and she was like, Alexis, we got a pair of the Strangelove SBs in a size 8.
Okay, Yaya, shout out to Yaya.
Yeah, she came through. So yeah, I have the Strangeloves on today. Pink hasn't always been my favorite color, but like this is a hard shoe to find, especially in my size. They had sole protectors on them when I first got them, so like they look like they hadn't been worn. Really clean pair, but yeah, these are one of my faves.
Size 8, you say?
Yeah, men's size 8, women's 9.5.
That's our size.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm excited.
Matching, same shoe size.
I know. What a coinky dink, because first of all, I barely wear pink.
Yeah, same.
And now I feel like
literally my only pink items on today.
It really took a lot for me to just commit to this fit. Like it's dope, Ed Hardy, like you know, it's nostalgic.
Vintage throwback, girl.
Vintage throwback. But I was just like teetering the line between do I like Pepto Bismol? Am I rocking? Like, you know,
not at all.
I'm glad I stayed with the commitment because now we're a vibe.
Exactly.
Team vibes.
There we go.
So this next segment we're going to dive into, I like to call Kick Time. This will be a series of questions just in relation to sneakerhead, sneaker culture. So first question, do you consider yourself a sneakerhead?
It is a great question. I don't consider myself a sneakerhead.
Why?
I really feel like the title sneakerhead I do feel like it's coveted, something that you earn. I do collect sneakers. I don't sell my sneakers. They stay with me. But I really believe, I think sneakerheads are people who have some sort of intrinsic value, connection, history, vast knowledge of sneakers. And I think I'm a little bit new to the game, so I don't feel like I'm up there with the legends. Yeah.
Now, while you may not be up there with the legends, everything you described is the definition of a sneakerhead, including what you do, who you are.
Okay.
The actual definition to define it is a collector, so soul collector, someone who covets something, and that's what we're doing. We're coveting sneakers. So I know a lot of people decide the criteria from the culture on who can be considered an actual sneakerhead, whether it has to do with your history, knowledge, how long you've been collecting, how long you've been attached to the game. But I feel like there's a place for all of us.
Yeah.
So what would be the term that you would consider yourself, if not a sneakerhead,
I will call myself a sneaker investor.
I like that.
Yeah, I definitely think that the start to the collection came from understanding like the financial gain. And so even when I buy shoes now, yes, there are GS pairs that don't hold value that I have in my collection because I really love the style and love the silhouette. But a lot of the shoes that I wait for and, you know, spend my time looking for are ones that have value. So
what do you think, like, what is it about sneakers? Like, what do you think it is about them?
Yeah, I think that there is, so like I've always been really jealous about how you could put a bunch of men in the room that don't know each other and you talk about a sports team and there is some connection, some way, shape or form that like most men in that room will be able to assimilate, have a conversation. There becomes this like neutral ground.
It definitely sparks conversation.
Yeah, I think so. And I've always been into fashion, but I think that there's like men's lane, women's lane when it comes to fashion. And sneakers to me is kind of this like natural set playing ground. Like if I wear a $10 outfit from Fashion Nova or if I wear a head to toe Prada outfit, like there might be some men that matter, but most men don't, you know, won't care. But if I wear a specific shoe, I think a woman may know what it is, a man may know what it is, you know, and now we have a conversation. So as somebody who loves fashion, I think that that's really where I gravitate towards the love for sneakers. Especially if like I'm going to an event, my first thought in my head is like, is this a heel event? Is it a sneaker event?
Exactly.
And then there's excitement.
That's
like,
a very important question.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that people put enough energy towards including those details.
Yeah.
Like, I need to know, is there parking?
Yeah.
Kicks or heels?
Right, 100%.
Dress, jeans. Like, I need to know all those details. Like, some people may look at that like, oh, you don't need to know all that, just come. But no, I need to know.
Yeah, need to know.
I need to know.
Agreed.
Do you have any favorite kick memories you like to share?
Yeah, so there was a time that we went to It was like the very first sneaker con that I had ever gone to. And like sneaker con can be really overwhelming.
Yes.
Like we went to have a booth to sell shoes.
And that was your first time there?
My very first time.
You could hit the ground running.
Yeah, ready to work. And I was wearing at the time one of the shoes that I'll share.
Yes, we're getting into that.
These are my Olivia Kims, one of my favorite shoes. My Olivia Kim 4s. And for me, like this shoe took me a long time to find. I really was looking for the Black Cat Jordan 4s.
Bring them out.
Yeah. These are the Olivia Kims. Feel them, love them.
It's the texture for me.
But I was looking for the Black Cat Jordan 1s, like have been looking for them, Jordan 4s, had been looking for them for a long time. Hard shoe to find in my size. And also that don't look like whooped. So when I came across the Olivia Kims, the pony hair is just, it sets the shoe off in a different level. But I also was like, no one knows what the shoe was. So like new in sneakers.
Does that matter to you?
It did. It used to matter to me. So like when I wore this shoe to SneakerCon, there was this girl who stopped me and she was like, hey, I've been doing like best dressed videos and wanted to see if I can take a picture. She was like, I haven't seen anybody wearing the Olivia Kims. And I was like, she knows what these are. And that was one of the first times that I remember feeling like, and like proud of what I have in my collection, you know,
I love that.
Up against some of, you know, the people around me that got sneaker plethora, you know, hype beasts like crazy. You know, sometimes I think that there's not enough appreciation for the shoes that you like that might have a little bit of value. So yeah, first time that I felt like recognized in a shoe that I actually really liked.
I love that. Thanks for sharing that memory.
Yeah.
Let's dive into what you brought today. So I see you got the 4s.
Yeah.
What else you got in that corner? Bring them out, bring them out. Are these your holy grails? Are these your favorites? Tell me a little bit about why you chose these shoes to bring.
What I brought today is definitely the ones that I have like the most emotion around. When I first got into sneakers and really understanding like the depth of the sneaker culture, I knew I wasn't going to be like the history girl and Air Max 1.
Yes.
You know, I don't have the lineage, but I really have always had an affinity for female designers. So I've always really sought after and looked for women designed sneakers.
Who are some of your favorite designers? Are they in this collection? We're going to dive into them? Okay, great.
I'll go through some of the ones that are not in my collection. Comme des Garçons, CDG, which is also owns Dover Street Market. The designer and owner of that brand is a woman. Also Sakai. Sakai is owned and designed by a woman female designer, which I think is dope. The Olivia Kims, like I said, these Jordan 4s, she's a female designer. We know that Samba is absolutely having a moment right now.
Absolutely.
The Sambas, the Gazelles. It's going to be really interesting to see Adidas, even like New Balance Asics, how they enter and continue to stay relevant in the market. But when Wales Bonners came out with these, I was not, like, a friend of mine had been like, oh, I ordered some Sambas and they've been on back order for like 2 weeks. I'm like, huh?
Back order on Sambas?
Like, what are we talking about? And then I saw these and I was like, okay, hold on, there's something that's happening. And I really hadn't have heard of the Wales Bonner brand or heard it as a designer. If you get a chance, look at her fashion line, she's great. But I have the silver ones. I also have, there's a black pony hair colorway, and then there's like a cream and brown. It's like a cowhide.
So texture's your thing. It's safe to say. Yeah, I love texture. And silver's having a moment right now.
Yeah, we were talking about this before we got on stage. Like silver jewelry, sneakers with silver metallic emblems. I definitely think it's having a moment. Yeah. Before I was into sneakers, I followed Melody Assani. I think that she's always really been a fashion legend in LA. So these are the Melody Assani Jordan 1s. They are mids, but one of my faves. They have the clock here. The left foot and the right foot are different colorways. So this one is the orange and red. The left foot is blue and green. They do have a little saying on the side. It says, if you knew what you had was rare, you would never waste it, which I think is a good saying.
I need to get that tatted.
Yeah, it's a good one. It reminds me of our acronym for TILT. TILT is treated like treasure.
I love that. And Melody Assani, I remember coveting her jewelry line. So I love that she incorporated the watch piece on the lace because that's just an ode to what she's been great at this entire time.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have any of the Laylee Mays, the 14s, those are great. Would love to have a pair. Don't have a pair yet, eventually. And then two of my other favorites. This was absolutely one of my need to have in my collection for a long time. Yeah. One of the shoes that I'm more proud of, the Union Jordan 1 Black Toes. Great colorway.
Do you agree that anything Union is just like gotta have?
I think they have great designs. Yeah. I do. Of course, like if you look at market, there's some like the Union Cortez or like the Beffy.
But even the Union Cortez, like the colorway was
the cool. Colorways were great. Yeah, I agree. And we have people who will come in looking for the shoe. We don't have them, but you know, when it comes to that value, sometimes it's like, again, what's the trade-off between value and style? I think the Beffys are underrated. That definitely is that all sale colorway. Those
sale
were
is
great.
Just anything you throw sale on. I want it.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then these are the Strawberry Coughs. A shoe that definitely is very loud and one I didn't realize I was going to love as much as I do. I've only worn these once. I have the
Now,
A-top.
do you bring these around holiday season only, or do you wear them all season round?
I saw what you did there. No. I have one outfit that I will wear these with. I do want to match the green. It doesn't have to be exact, but I have one item that goes with this green, and so yeah, for right now until I find another piece, I don't wear them as often as I'd like to. I was deciding when I got these between the Stingwater SBs and these, and I ended up picking these. The Stingwaters I think I'll come across again, but I like the details on these. I think they're a dope pair. Definitely
a lot of texture going on there.
Yeah, texture's my thing, I think we found, huh?
Yeah. I love details though, so those are dope.
Yeah.
Those are dope.
I agree.
Now we're going to get into a little game I like to call This or That. Okay. It's self-explanatory. Okay. So I'll ask you a series of questions, and you can choose quickly. You can think about them, but we're just going to keep it rolling.
Okay.
Heels or sneakers?
Heels.
Designer shoes or retros?
Retro.
Customs, yay or nay?
I'm going to say nay.
Wear or stare?
Definitely wear.
Kicks first or fits first?
Kicks first. Yeah.
All day.
Yeah,
every day.
With the kick.
Now, does that deter you, like, from wearing your kicks? Like, or do you just like, whatever, I find with it, I'll throw a white tee on and some jeans just to wear these kicks?
No.
You save them until you have the right moment?
Right outfit. Yeah, for sure. Especially because, like, I want the shoes to stay in the best condition as possible. Like my Melody Assanis, those I wear all the time just because I can do so much with them. It is a shoe that's really hard to find, and so I probably shouldn't wear it as often as I do. But no, I will wait for the right outfit until I wear a shoe. Certain shoes, yes, I itch to wear them because I'm like when I got the Pine Green SB4s, like I wanted to wear them just because I knew they were having a moment. So then I shopped for an outfit just to be able to wear the shoes.
Exactly, that's true. Yeah, I have a couple of pairs of shoes that I'm like waiting for. They deserve their moment.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I could just break them out and just make it easy, but they deserve a moment, and I need to have the right fit to touch those shoes.
Yeah, I feel
and
that.
There's other shoes that I unfortunately have become beaters.
Sure.
That I didn't plan on having them as beaters, but I just love them so much I can't stop wearing them.
Yeah, they're like the Robin to you or Batman.
Yeah, and some of them I just should have never done that to them, but at least they've gotten their worth.
Yeah. Maybe it's time for a new pair of them.
Do you repurchase the same shoe over and over?
I will.
You will?
Yeah.
What's the shoe that you bought twice?
The only shoe that I don't wear my shoes often, but
when you do.
Yeah, when I do. The only shoe that I have bought a second one of is the Lost and Found Jordan 1s.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, because I got a pair that were used because I didn't want them really new. And then I wore them, and then they were like too used. Then a new pair came, so I sold those, and then I had a new pair. And I was like, I should have had a new pair from the beginning.
Got it. So you don't buy one to wear and one to keep it a tuck?
No, I don't do the stash.
Okay.
I will say, I recently got a pair of the Off-White Sale 4s, and I went out, and I shouldn't have worn them out, and somebody next to me spilt, and there's like a dot. It's not significant, but it's there, and I can see it. Why does that happen? I don't know.
And then you can't get rid of that dot. No shoe cleaner. Yeah. Shoe cleaners.
Yeah.
Why is there always a random dot stain that you get when you first wear the shoes that you can never get rid of? But if you like wear the shoes a couple times and then it's time to clean them, they're just fine.
They're fine. Yep. So that shoe is the first time that I was like, okay, I understand why people get two pairs, especially when market's low, because they're not cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the most repurchased sneaker there is the Air Force One.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How many times can you wear Air Force One before it's too worn?
You're asking the wrong person, because I'm that girl that is just like, okay, enough is enough.
Yeah.
Put those away.
Okay.
Because I will clean them. I just cleaned my Forces the other day.
At least you clean them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're better
I'll
than
clean
most.
them. But now the creases,
Yeah.
once they start getting too creasy, I gotta let them go.
Yeah.
So I think I'm probably on the 6th wear of the current Air Force lifespan.
You're getting up there,
but
yeah.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna wrap it up. You mentioned some designers and collectors earlier. Do you have a favorite that you like to shed light on? Any notable female collectors that you want to talk about, or designers?
Yeah, my favorite collector or influencer is Sally Sneakers. I think that she puts a really dope spin on how she utilizes her collection. I think that sometimes also as like women in streetwear, it's hard to find the balance between being feminine and feeling sexy, and then also like being trendy. And I think she does a good job of being both. My goal is to be able to be a lot more like fashionable with my own personal attire when it comes to sneakers. And she also is very brave, like to wear colors, to wear patterns, prints, textures. And that's something that I also admire as well. Again, I think like the shoes are meant to be worn, and it's really cool to see kind of the creative spins that she puts on her outfit. So
I think that's the funnest thing about it.
Shout out to Sally Sneakers.
Shout out, because first of all, adding sneakers to your name alone.
Totally. Yeah, 100%.
But no, I love the spin on the textures. I love the spin, just like you said, the bravery to be able to just step out. You're on your way with those Sambas.
Thank you.
Because what are you going to wear with those? What have you worn with those? Yeah,
so this shoe, I like my most recent outfit that I really liked. I had this like tulle black skirt, see-through, and it has a slit on the side with I have this Bob Marley tie-dye Amiri shirt that's a little bit see-through as well. So I wore that shirt with like a cute little lace bra underneath that, you know, gives a little pop out because the shirt's a bit see-through with that tulle skirt. And I wore these shoes with it. That was
very
just
fashion
a nice
forward.
little, compliment.
Very fashion forward.
Yeah.
Who, if anyone, would you swap collections with?
PJ Tucker, no questions asked. Would I know what to do with the collection? No, I would become a looker, not a wearer at that point. But that man's sneaker collection is impeccable. Yeah,
his sneaker collection, his rollout, his fashion sense. How do you feel about the low tops?
I actually love them. The baby blue shoes that he just came out with. Did you see
like his whole rollout with the Nike luggage?
Brilliant.
It was just so cloudy.
Yeah, 100%. Brilliant. No, that shoe is actually... There's shoes, so the Canyon Purple 4s fall into the same category for me as these PJ Tucker shoes. Like, I didn't appreciate them until I saw somebody wering them. I saw somebody wearing them, and I was like,
that's what it is for me with those low tops in general. Like, I love low tops, but I'm anti low tops for certain sneakers.
Okay.
Like, just certain...
Are you doing a Jordan 1 low top?
I can do a Jordan 1 low on a rare occasion. Do I own any? No.
Okay.
But
you'll buy a Travis Scott 1 low.
For sure. Okay. For sure. Those are coveted.
Yeah.
But not too
Jordan
not too much
low?
of the lows. No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I said that loud and proud.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you.
I can't stand it. Yeah. I can't stand it. They're already low.
Yeah. And I think the silhouette just isn't very complimentary being low.
Not.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even look safe or sturdy.
Yeah. I hear that.
Do you hoard or rotate out?
No, I hoard. I don't have no intention. Trey hates that I don't sell my shoes. Like, he will rotate out all the time.
Yeah.
I will not rotate out. I bought them for a reason.
True.
Yeah.
Do you ever look back at some of your shoes? Like, okay, before I even get into that question, how do you store your shoes?
Okay, so I have one of our closest customer friends, shout out Tony, shared a really horrible experience that his sneakers in his closet shared a wall with his bathroom, and the moisture from his bathroom was inside some of his sneaker boxes at the very bottom, and so he went to grab a pair of Jordans that were in his closet, and there was mold in them that then made him go through some of the other shoes, and the shoes were ruined. So never will that be my experience, but I do have them in a closet on a shelf up high. I keep the boxes. Would I love to have them on display for sure. I think it would make getting dressed easier. Because I would like to see them. But no, I keep them in my boxes. I don't want to keep separate space for the box and the shoe.
That's where
and don't sell your shoes without boxes. Like it's cringe. We will buy them. Tilt will buy them. But keep the box.
Yeah, that's my problem right now is that I'm doing both. Okay. So certain sneakers, obviously, you have to keep the box.
Yeah,
like there's no doubt about it. And one of the things that I love with a good rollout is the box. I'm into details. I'm into packaging. So that's part of the biggest thing for me. Yeah. So I'm not getting rid of those boxes. Yeah. And then too, because if anything were to happen, I need to sell my $1 million collection. Yeah. I'm going to need those boxes. Yeah. The other thing is I love the aesthetic of the shelving. Yeah. Like I love shelving. I love the clear containers. So I have a wall of clear containers with shoes, sneakers, heels, whatever. Yeah. Because it is easier to get dressed. Yeah. But what I found is that there's no longevity there. Yeah. Like the boxes get crusty, dusty, musty. Yeah. Like it's just not a great way to store your shoes for a long period of time, but neither are the original boxes. Yeah. So I'm still hunting for a solution. Yeah. Stay tuned. Yeah. But and then the whole rotating thing too, that was my problem when I first started collecting, is that not only was I stingy on space. Yeah. I'm not sharing my apartment with my kids and my shoes. Yeah. So I started rotating them out. Like it was something that I did to help with my conscience. Like, oh, you have too many shoes. Yeah. It's okay. I'm going to give some away and then I'll get some more. Yeah. But then I realized that my collection was diminishing and then I would see others growing like, oh, I used to have those. Right. I used to have those. Right. So it's like, do you want to be a used to have?
That's true. It's a good point. It never feels good also when you look back and you're like, I can't believe I sold these shoes. Right. Like, when the metallic forest came out, I got a pair and I was like, what am I going to wear these with? And I sold them, and those shoes have tremendous, crazy value now. And I would love to put that shoe on my foot right now. Don't have them, don't want to spend the money on them necessarily. But at the same time, for me at least, like my day-to-day, I'm wearing Crocs, the Selfexplanatory Crocs. Mm-hmm. I'm wearing Yeezy slides, foam runners, Birkenstocks. So I don't really run into that, my shoes I'm wearing out my shoe. Like those shoes can get worn out and it's fine. So
everything you just listed for sure can get worn out.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I done worn the foam runners to the floor.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder what the next wave is going to be of those like comfort shoes.
The Selfexplanatories are doing a great job at taking over the Croc element. Do you think Skechers are going to make a comeback?
I'm not checking for Skechers at the moment.
Have you been noticing how closely they're trying to emulate the new silhouettes and styles and colorways? Yeah, like I walked past Skechers the other day in Delamo, and I like almost thought I saw a New Balance shoe. I was like, wait, that's Skechers. They almost got me. Yeah. Shout out to Skechers.
If they can do it, I will never knock something. Just prove it.
So are there any brands that are off limits?
I wouldn't say off limits. If something looks good, I'll wear it. But one of the, we'll say hype designer shoes, I stay away from. They're not really my lane. I think just because something is expensive doesn't mean that it's necessarily cool. Right. The Balenciaga track runners and triple S's, like they have some that look good, but it's just a very loud shoe. I would never look at that shoe and be like, man, this is a beautiful shoe. But there's some Prada and some Gucci silhouettes, like the sneakers that I think look cool. But again, they're not like beautiful designs. I just think that they're maybe complementary to an outfit, help make it loud kind of situation.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Are there any underrated designers or like local designers that you rock with? Yeah,
I definitely think that I could do a better job being kind of in tune with up and coming brands. We play Tilt plays in a basketball league for the Surgeon. If you've heard of the Shoe Surgeon, Dom is really a brilliant designer, and so he is by no means small, but definitely somebody who is not a mainstream, brand. So definitely shout out to the Sneaker Surgeon. But I definitely love when Nike does collaboration or big brands do collaborations with smaller brands or businesses that really give them a shout out. I think of like the Born and Raised SBs. Born and Raised is not small, but when you think of kind of a global level, like a lot of people don't know what Venice, California is, who Sponto is, and the fact that they have been able to grow a brand, rest in peace, but that shoe went crazy. And it's one of, in my opinion, one of the greatest shoes that came out. And so I think that it's, anytime they can do a collaboration like that really shines light on a small kind of niche community. I think that it's a really great way to leverage those bigger platforms. So I appreciate those.
And I definitely appreciate the collaborations. Do you feel like price fuels hype?
Yeah, I think it does. I think exclusivity will always fuel hype. I do think there's a lot of weird shoes that have strange hypes and strange prices. But I do really strange prices and strange hype. Yeah, I will say I think it's a kind of, when you zoom out, I think it's a really beautiful thing that like brown culture has been able to really push influence of streetwear to a degree that you can take something like a sneaker and it be so coveted. Of course, when it comes to the extent of bodying and the maybe not so appreciated side of resale, I think that those things kind of we can do without, but I do definitely think that the culture that's been able to be built around it is something that's beautiful and an admiration to culture. Yeah.
So what do you feel about the state of the sneaker culture right now?
Yeah.
Like with everything that you just spoke about, bots, all those things, like do you think that it's a wave that'll eventually die down or you think this is the end?
Yeah, no, I think like anything else, markets are going to ebb and flow. I think that my personal take is I think that we're not in the greatest economy. And so I think that because of that, you look at like sales for a company like Nike and they're going to try to push out as many silhouettes as possible.
As many.
Low price. The Dunks.
I can't even see them coming. I'm just in the store like, oh, when did they drop that?
It's every colorway, color combination you could possibly think of. And I think it's an easy shoe to wear if they push every color possible, right? Like you're going to find something that works for you. So I think things like that oversaturate the market. I also think we live in LA, and so naturally we're always going to feel oversaturation quicker than a different state, you know, that doesn't have as much access. But I do think the industry will come back. I'm really interested to see what some of these other brands that have been more activewear driven, like New Balance, Asics. I love what they bring to the sneaker scene. I will through and through be a Jordan girl, but I absolutely appreciate them. There's some collabs I'm really excited for this year. I don't know if you've seen the Jack Harlow New Balance. When I tell you,
man, all of the New Balance collabs that are coming out, and, you know, New Balance are some of the most comfortable shoes that I've ever worn. I used to work in an industry where I had to walk a lot, especially on Fridays. We took walking field trips. Oh, wow. And I remember owning these neon orange New Balances. I can't even find them to this day, but they were the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn in my life. So when they did this revamps that they're doing, I'm like, oh, now I want them all.
I will wear New Balance all day.
All day, every day. Absolutely. Shout out to New Balance. But yeah, I love it.
Amen.
I'm here for it. So let's talk about some price points. I know you mentioned that you look at the sneaker culture through the lens of investments. You're a sneaker investor, to say. So if I were to name a price, how much could I buy your entire collection for? All those, since we wear the same size.
I don't think I have a huge collection, but I do think that I have some like
hefty,
some meaty items in there. It's probably between 20 and 25K.
I heard that.
Yeah, in that ballpark.
You take installments?
I know. The plan is not to sell them. The plan is to keep them. So
how long do you think you'll be rocking sneakers?
That's a great question. I just saw this interview the other day and someone was talking about like sneakers are not for older people, like certain silhouettes might look better. And I was like, I don't know. I think that that's kind of defined by individual style. Do I think that maybe the silhouette that I'm interested in will change over time? For sure. I think that that can ebb and flow. But I definitely feel, and this is like myself personally, I love wearing heels because I don't wear them as often anymore. But to have a sneaker, like I just think that it's a little bit more like defining to characteristic. And I think that when I'm shopping for sneakers, I feel that way a little bit more. So I don't see myself not ever wearing, like I don't see myself not wearing sneakers. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that the silhouettes may change because the older we get, the more we're interested in like comfortability, like, you know, price points, investment
investment. You're looking at, quality over quantity.
Absolutely.
So I definitely agree. And then just when you've experienced so many different shoes, you realize like I pick shoes based off the event. Like, am I going to be walking up a mountain to Hollywood Bowl?
Absolutely.
We're not wearing these.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think the older we get, those things will adjust.
Yeah.
What's the most you've ever spent for a shoe?
I believe it's my Off-White Sale 4s. I will say, like, I have the luxury of, I get the shoes at my buy price as opposed to, like, the true resale price. So
it's like an employee discount.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that. But yeah, my Sale 4s, my Sale 4s are the most expensive initial purchase,
Do you have, like, a number, like, the highest you'll go on one pair of shoes? The most you'll spend.
Yeah, I really, like... I want to sit and wait and think about my purchase before I make it, for sure. If it's a high ticket item, it has to be something that I really have wanted.
So, like, what are some of your holy grails then? Like, so if you think about the most coveted shoe that you have on your to-do list, what's the most you're willing to go?
2,000.
And what's on the list?
2,000 would be my highest, like, out of pocket. I would consider trading shoes or doing cash plus a trade for a shoe, as much as I don't want to get rid of.
Right.
I have some that have been in there.
a section like y'all could go. Y'all could step. If it came down to it, y'all could step.
Yeah, a little row. Like, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Like, I'll come back to you at a later point kind of thing.
It's a part of the game.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's a fun part of the game.
I try not to have to rotate. The shoes that really are on the top of my list are not crazy expensive. They're just a little bit harder to find. I've always loved Dornbeckers. I think that for anybody who doesn't know, the Dornbecker is a child's hospital, and so Nike gives them a platform every year. The children that are in the hospital get to design sneakers, and then Nike picks a student or a child to be able to actually release their shoe. The Dornbecker Vomeros, which are the all orange with like the Velcro patches. When those shoes came out, I was like, what is this? And then I was like, okay, hold on. I hadn't fully wrapped my mind around like the impact that shoe could make in my collection, but now that's definitely a shoe that I really would love to have in my collection.
Have you been actively seeking it out?
I don't really actively seek out anything.
It's like if you stumble upon it.
Yeah, the Olivia Kims are the only ones that I really was like posting. Like, if anyone has these in a size 8, bring them in. But no, I really try to wait for them to come to me. I think that is also kind of a part of, when people go to Vegas and play the machines, everyone has their own trick. Rub the machine, pat the machine. I think for me, like, I'd rather wait for the shoe to come to me, and there's a meaning behind that. But
definitely, you attract what?
Exactly.
I get that.
Manifest it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm gonna manifest these ones.
Yeah.
I have a few that I need to manifest. I have a whole list. We're not going to even get into that. But I definitely have a list. But speaking of what do I want, if you could speak to our women viewers, what do you suggest any woman should have in her collection?
Yeah,
like if you're an aspiring sneakerhead collector, if you just want to add some kicks to your wardrobe, what do you think every woman should have?
Yeah, I think for anyone who comes into like our store that shops with me to look for, like, I love shoes and I've wanted sneakers, but I don't necessarily know where to start. I think Jordan 1s are like the easiest place for a woman to start. Narrow silhouette, highs. I think highs. I will say, like, I think most women, it takes them a second to get used to the idea of high sneakers, just especially if they wear skirts and shorts and things like that. But I think it's a very versatile sneaker. I also think that Jordan 4s add this layer of kind of streetwear, and if you really want to get into it, you wear 4s. I could suggest some dunks that I think are really nice that are more of like a I like this for you versus I like this for me. And I think that there's some dunks that I try to make people stay away from, and then there's dunks that I'm like, okay, let's go through that. We're not doing any of the simple color dunks. Yeah. Like, we're not doing we're not even going to talk about those. It's the he who shall not be named. But the simple dunks like the Cacao Wows or the Gray Fog dunks or the St. John, like, it's just so simple. Like, let's wear dunks that are more fun, like a medium medium curry, or like the veneers, any of like the veneers, the ceramics, any of those suede packs. I think those are really beautiful dunks. Like, and again, it's a great shoe, easy to wear silhouette, but I think that, you know, we could do a little bit better than just the standard.
How do you feel about the Powerpuff Girl pack?
Obsessed.
Yeah,
obsessed. I will say again, the creativity, the colorway. I love that all three of them have a different texture. I agree.
They nailed it.
When I first saw them, I was like, the eyes
they
look
like cartoons.
Off. Yeah, but I thought they were, quality matters to me a lot also.
Sure.
If you've seen the Rio Jordan 3s, the J Balvin 3s, those I was like, let's see what the quality comes in as, and they were great. There's some that the quality is not coming in as great these days, but I think that's a big measure indicator for me, and I thought that they did a great job with the quality for those, for the Powerpuff Girls.
They did.
Yeah.
Do you have a sneaker that you regret purchasing?
Yeah, I do. I think in the very beginning when I first started buying sneakers, I really was like in for the hype. Like, let's see what's going to flip for some real bread. I remember the Animal Instinct 3s coming out and being like, ooh, animal print is a vibe. And then the Animal Instinct 11s came out, and it's just black, white, and it's pony hair across the toe, which again, my texture is that thing. But it's like a cowhide print. And I thought that they were going to be dope. And I remember wearing them one time, like, I don't know if I really like these. So I sold those. I wanted to hold on to them, but I was like, I just am not really feeling those. So not a regret, but a shoe that I thought for sure was going to be like a thing and was not.
Is it that like once they're on, they give you a different vibe, or is it just like the fits didn't work out?
Yeah, I think that 11s, I don't have the wardrobe for 11s unless I'm wearing like a skirt. I'm wearing a skirt today, but it's not like my typical attire. Yeah. But also I think that the shoe is just still like a very simple shoe. Yes, the pony hair is the pony hair, but it just wasn't significant enough. Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
It's been so great having you, Lex, and getting to know you. Yeah. I think I want to know a little bit more. So what's next for Lex?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think I'm on the same journey, in life as everybody else. Yeah. My passion has really always been in being able to take ideas and bring them to life. So I am the execution of most vehicles. Right now for Tilt, our brand, we've really been working on growing what are the other tentacles of our business. Like, sure, we could be a sneaker store, but also trying to be mindful of the market. Yes. But bigger than that is like, the goal has always been to be able to create lasting and strong relationships in and with the community. Right now we're partnering with a company called Knowledge, and they work hand in hand with schools across LA County as well as out of state to be able to help students that are struggling with attendance. And so we partner with them to sponsor sneakers. We've been working on, it's a really amazing company and program. We've been very fortunate to be able to work with them so far. But working on wanting to grow in events, wanting to find different ways that we can continue to make an impact. And so that's really where we are. We're featuring, instead of going like the hypebeast route and carrying the L-Star and gallery department, we carry all local LA brands in store. And so that's been something that we've really enjoyed. And so, growing in that aspect. I think the last couple of years for me has been really reflecting on who I am. And, I just turned 30, and having a little bit more wisdom. I think in growing, it's really interesting to be in a space of entrepreneurship, being able to have more access and control of my time, to really plan out what things. Amazing? It's great. It is great. I think sometimes there's that imposter syndrome, and am I making the right decisions? Are we going the right direction? All of the above. Also something so random, but I love doing puzzles. That's like my after hour thing. I'm a at-home puzzler, and so I'm starting a puzzle company. It's called PM Puzzles, Past Midnight Puzzles. I'm working on. Great. Yeah, it's for the working girlies, the people who have 9 to 5s and really do their hobbies in their free time, and so that's where the name came from. But really working on something that's going to be creative and chic, and so hopefully I'll be in gift stores soon. But I'm excited for that. I think that'll be something that allows me to express creativity. I don't see myself as the most creative person. Like I talked about, I'm really operations heavy, but in loving to do puzzles and then transitioning that into, you know, having a fun and creative business, I look forward to that. So continuing to push the Tilt brand and see how we can continue to reach our tentacles and arms out wide, and then also diving a little bit deeper into trying to tap into my creativity. Those are my upcoming goals.
I love that.
Yeah.
So where can we find you so we can follow your journey?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. My Instagram handle is gonegirl.lex. It's so funny. My friends always tease me about the name, but I'm not huge on social media. And when I do, you know, when I am out and about, I like to engage. I like to participate, be present in the moment. And so really the name is like, if you don't catch me, you won't know I'm there. And that's your miss. So yeah, that's my Instagram handle, my TikTok. And then you can find me at any time. I work pretty much every day in store. I'm very active in store to Los Angeles. We're located at the Howard Hughes Plaza at the Bridge in Los Angeles. We have the Inglewood location, and the third location hopefully coming soon. Coming soon. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I have something for you.
Yay. Thank you again so much for having me.
Absolutely. So the sentiment, my appreciation. Thank you so much for being a guest on our show.
I appreciate you. Okay, look at the detail.
Yeah, I
Love it.
Well, that's our show. Thank you to Alexis for being our special guest today. Make sure you guys follow her journey. Shout out to Tilt and stay tuned for the next episode of The Pull Up. I'm your host, MsMillie. Love, peace, and souls. We're out of here. What's good, everybody? It's Millie from the Signature Souls podcast, and I'm here with Lex from Tilt, Director of Operations at Tilt. We recently did an interview together, and I just wanted to catch up with you, girl. We haven't seen you in action, so we wanted to pull up on you at the store and see how you've been.
Yeah, good, girl. You know, trying to keep everything straight. Having our pop-up tonight with Love and Cocktails. So happy that you guys were able to come.
I love Cree, so shout out to Cree, and thank you for inviting me.
Yes.
So anything new with the store since we last met?
Yeah, really right now we've been working on bringing in new brands. So local LA designers we want to support. I think, you know, everyone's heard of all the streetwear brands, Hailstar, Gallery Department. There's a lane for them. They're dope, but we definitely want to be able to support local LA brands. So if you have a brand, please reach out. Would love to have you in store. Huge square footage, so we love to do pop-up shops. That's definitely been a priority of ours.
Thank you for that. That's amazing. Now that the summer is coming to an end, like, what do you think the kick of the summer was?
Ooh, that's a great question. I definitely think that it's been Vomeros and Asics. Like, everybody is loving multiple colorways of the Vomeros and the Asics. New Balance, I think, for sure made its way in there. There's been a couple Saucony collabs that I've seen that look really good. But I think it's definitely been a summer of the athletic shoe. It's definitely been the summer of the athletic shoe, and I enjoy them personally. As a mom, I can go anywhere with them. I can wear them to work, off of work. Actually, my kids requested them for back to school shopping. So shout out to New Balance and shout out to that whole silhouette. I think that's the vibe right now. I know last time we spoke, you mentioned some nonprofit work that you guys were doing, giving back to the kids in the community. Have you guys had any updates since then? Absolutely. So we are on, what's today? Today's the 17th, so day 17 of 31 days of our back to school tour. So we're doing a different elementary school, middle school, and high school every day this month for a free pair of shoes. So check us out. We probably have right now maybe like 10 pairs that are unclaimed. So check us out on Instagram. You can find us at TiltX Los Angeles and TiltX Inglewood. Again, a different middle school, high school, or elementary school free pair of shoes every day this month. I love that. And is it in any particular district or just South LA? Yeah, so our community. So this location, the Los Angeles store, is definitely going to cater to the locations here on the west side. The Inglewood location does cater to the locations that are closer to that side of town. Great, thank you for that. Yeah. It was good seeing you and catching up with you. We're glad to have you in your element. So we're just going to get some vibes over here tonight. Yeah. Shout out to Signature Souls. See you guys soon. Thank you.